So you've got to start with the central focus, which is, why do you do kids ministry? Are you doing kids ministry just to fill time, to keep them from being a distraction in regular services? So we do kids ministry because there's a crazy world out there that is going to try to bombard these kids with false truth, right? With lies. We're trying to train these children up in the way that they should go, so that when they're confronted with the lies of the world, they know which way to walk.
Hey, and welcome to the Great Commission Toolkit. I'm Chase, here with
Max Barker.
Yes, my cousin here, and he works at Camp CoBeAc. If you didn't listen to the last episode, you missed out. You need to go back and listen. He talks about how talented he is.
Nope,
and how gifted he. I'm just kidding.
Nope.
Yeah, he really is, though. He really is. So, real quick, we're going to jump into some things to help in training children's workers, because you've trained a ton of children/youth workers. Okay, we're going to talk about that. But this week, okay, what is something this week that made you laugh or made you a little nervous in the camp world? Okay, what's something that, or just embarrassed you? It doesn't matter. Or someone else. We can go someone else if that's. You probably shouldn't tell someone else's story.
I mean, something that made me laugh even today. There was a kid that in the middle of the service.
Teen or kids?
This was a teen. This was
teen
a teen
service,
but I don't think they were far into teens.
Okay.
So like a junior higher, in the middle of the service, the speaker was doing something, so everybody was kind of being loud. You know, he was doing some crowd interaction, and the kid walked into the lobby and just kind of looked at all of us and just kind of let out this. It wasn't a scream. It wasn't a yell. It was some sound.
What would you call that?
I don't know. I thought about doing it, but I don't want to.
Hey, go ahead. We'd love to
hear. I could accurately portray.
Prepare your volume level to turn down.
Yeah. He walked into the lobby and he just kind of looked at everybody and he goes, "Ah!"
That was so quiet.
Thank you. I didn't want to blow.
I appreciate that.
Out.
Yeah, me too.
It was a little more animated than that. And everybody just kind of looked at him, and then he just kind of kept walking.
Hey, so welcome to camp ministry. That's what happens.
Yeah, you never know.
Seventh graders go in lobbies. That's just a normal thing. Yeah. Is that a first for you?
Of that specific moment,
okay.
Yeah, but I've had.
The other time was
Yeah, that's right. If they'd have harmonized, it would have been even more memorable.
It would have been beautiful. You could have jumped in.
I could have. I was more worried about why he wasn't in the service.
Yeah. I mean,
But like I said, kids ministry is fun. You just never know what's going to be around the corner.
This is true.
So
it's true. Hey, if you got a funny story, let us know. We'll tell it if you want us to, or we won't tell it, but we still would like to know. That'd be hilarious. Send it over. Wouldn't you like to know?
I would love to know. Actually,
it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, there's some pretty good ones out there that I've heard.
Yeah, and some pretty not good ones.
That's true.
I probably shouldn't have even said that.
Some of them probably you shouldn't share.
Yeah. Anyway, they might cry if you share it. Anyway, okay, let's do this. Let's jump into it. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Let me try that again.
Let's go for it.
Developing. That was worse. Developing children's workers. Don't laugh at me. You're making my face turn red on camera. Okay.
Let's just cut this start back over.
Right. Developing children's workers. All right. So you've trained a lot. Okay. And so we'll focus first on like children's workers. So like kids. All right. That's the same thing as children. Kindergarten is what I meant to say, to like 6th grade, somewhere in there. So children's workers, you've trained a lot. I know at camp you do like, 3rd to 6th grade, I think?
3rd to 6th grade is the juniors. Yeah, and then we do teens.
So focus on the juniors. What are some principles that have helped you train them effectively? So not necessarily, I mean, if it just makes more sense to just jump into like what you've trained them, but things that have helped you make sure to train them, not forget certain things.
Okay. Interesting question. So, I work with, 16 junior counselors every summer. And we go through training, and obviously a lot of that is specific to camp ministry. But one thing that I would say is pretty universal every summer is realizing that none of these young people that are doing this for the summer are me. So I have these experiences and I've done this. I was a junior counselor here at camp. And like I said, I've worked 10 years here now. And so I've seen a lot of them come and go, and they're all going to be different, but they are all going to have different strengths, and they're all going to have different experiences. Every week you have counselors that'll say, I've never had this before. Some of them, they've had experiences I never had. And so if you rely only on experience to be the guide in training people, well, this is what I've done, these are what you're going to see. It's a very limited training. So you have to come back to principles that are not based in experience, but are based in truth, obviously scriptural truth. And so when I talk to our counselors, we have the practical side of training. What do you do when you've got a camper that won't listen to you, or when a camper won't sit still during a service, or things of that nature? But beyond that I can't connect with them effectively if I don't know the person that I'm actually training, if I don't know kind of how they work. And so it really is trying to formulate a relationship, which, if you're here for 10 weeks of camp working, that's an expedited time of training. So it's just doing things with them, kind of figuring out what makes them tick, and then realizing you don't treat everybody the same way. Yeah. Some people you can handle an issue kind of directly. You just talk about it. They can handle it, take it, move on, actions corrected. Sometimes it's a little more nuanced. And it's, a book like How to Win Friends and Influence People is a really good way, because it's a helpful tool because you understand that there's just different ways to interact with people to kind of get your point across.
Yeah. So basically, to sum it up, knowing who you're teaching helps you know how to teach them.
Yes. No, that's exactly right.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when you're looking for children's workers, all right, what are some qualities you look for that would help you just know, what, I think this would be a good junior counselor as opposed to a teen counselor?
Okay, yeah. Patience. Patience is a big one. Oh. And then a lot of times I'm not looking for high energy people all the time. Some of our counselors are higher energy people. Some people they're okay to be back kind of in the background and just let the higher energy people do their thing. But what I am looking for are people that are, they're patient. They are willing to engage people that others aren't necessarily looking to engage.
Sure.
So
makes sense.
Like, not everybody wants to talk to the kids, and there are maybe some of you out there that you're like, the kids are the first people I talk to when they come. That's me, right? I just, I want to talk to the kids. They're right there. I love it. And so, I look for kind of that sort of mentality. They want to find the people that aren't necessarily the ones that are going to be sticking out in everybody's mind, and just connect with them. There's some patience there. There's some depth there. I want them to be able to have a serious conversation and to be, majorly spiritually minded. Yeah. So that's, just some of the criteria I look for.
So think, okay, you're in a local church. What you do is a little unique because you're in camp ministry, right? But if you're in a local church and maybe you don't have someone who is extremely patient with kids, or maybe, well, I won't ask that question yet, but maybe it's like, okay, I don't have people that perfectly fit in that category, but I think they can get there.
Yeah.
What can I do to help them get there? Because I'm assuming with all the people you've had at Camp CoBeAc, you probably had some people, and like they seemed patient until they were around the kids, and then they hit them. Probably not. Okay, but then what?
Okay, so remember that patience is a fruit of the Spirit, right? Love, joy, peace, long-suffering. In fact, a lot of the fruits of the Spirit are not just obviously the Christian walk, but things you need in children's ministry. And so a lot of times when you are, regardless of it's camp, local church, you've got somebody and there's kind of a glaring, we'll call it an issue of something that they really is kind of hindering them from being more effectively used. You look at what fruit of the Spirit is this lacking. And then, we say here at camp, you hug hard, hit hard. In other words, you love on the person and you invest in them. You show them you care about them. You show them you care about them, so that when an issue arises, then you're able to confront it. You confront it lovingly, but you deal with it. And you say, this is a problem and we're going to deal with it. And so putting that in terms of children's ministry, if I've got someone that's super willing, they want to be involved, that's a huge part of it. Okay, then if they want to be part of this ministry, let's work with them. And then as you go, you start to realize in certain situations, this is kind of lacking in their life. Okay, so if I don't say anything, that's not going to change. That doesn't help them. That doesn't help the ministry. So in love, I'm going to sit down with them and say, listen, to help you, to help the kids around you, this is something that needs to be worked on. And so we're going to do some work from the Bible. What does it say about this? We're going to pray about it. This is something that can totally be done in your life as the Lord works. And you have to have patience in helping them find patience and helping them find long suffering.
It's good.
Grace. Maybe it's grace. Maybe you work with somebody who's got a strong sense of justice. And so for them, when a kid is...
That happens?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
When a kid is doing wrong in their mind, it is just... it's black and white to them, and helping them understand grace and from the Bible and how that even makes them a better children's ministry worker, a better Christian. Because the children's ministry work, whatever the ministry work is, it should be an outflow of what God's doing in their life. And so that's what I would say to that.
So can you can use fake names to protect the innocent.
Okay.
But could you kind of give an example or a story of like when you had to do that? Because while you're thinking, I've been at churches and heard, had conversations with pastors where there were certain, volunteers at their church that needed to walk in the Spirit a little bit better, okay? And no one typically likes confrontation,
No. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Like when you're talking about confronting people, I will do everything but confront them. And that was a real struggle for a long time until I realized my lack of confrontation was actually hindering them, because this may be something the Lord allowed us to be in each other's lives for me to help them in this area. And so really the lack of accountability or bearing one another's burdens, edifying each other in Christ was lacking. And I really wasn't fulfilling my duty as a brother in Christ to help said individual with this issue. You don't be mean with it. You don't bash them over the head. And you are always striving to live the Christian life and open to input on areas where you're, falling short. But it's, hey, I'm not criticizing you because I do this better than you, but because I see that there's a lot of ways that the Lord could really use you if you're able to get this under the control of the Spirit and be Spirit filled in this area.
Sure.
Sorry.
That's great. That's great. So next question here.
Did you want to?
Do you have a story?
I'll give you a story. Okay. So let's say we've got.
All right, I'm ready.
John Smith, right?
John Smith.
That's the classic.
AKA? Not going to say their name. Don't say their name.
Is that what they use on the driver's license still?
I don't know.
I don't know the name. But
not sure what you're talking about.
Let's say a really common one that happens is when we play games at camp, right? And you do this at church too, probably. But if you have a worker that has a really competitive side and they kind of just get so locked in when they're playing a game, right, that they, in a sense, forget what's going on around them. It happens quite often. And what I have to do is say, listen, the competition isn't what matters. What matters is if we're glorifying God in this. And so there's campers watching. So when you lose and then you have a negative reaction to that, what that camper sees is that my leader is doing that. So that's an okay response to this situation. Yeah. And that's just the mentality of ministry a lot of times, is just living life in front of people, being real, and the way that they see you act, respond, and engage in situations is a lot of times the way that they're going to do the same thing. Yep.
And even if they know it's wrong, they sometimes will change their mind and justify it because, like, my counselor did it. Yeah, or this church worker got angry when they lost, so I'm going to get angry and yell when I lose. So, big deal. It's a big deal. Here we go. Actually, let me ask this question first. if you got someone who never done kids ministry before, and they want to do it, maybe they're a little nervous, okay, but they want to jump in. What are some common mistakes that new volunteers can make?
This might be a little different than what you're thinking, but I would say one of the most common mistakes is thinking that you don't have anything to offer. As someone who's been in kids ministry for a long time, I can handle someone who is doing things that I probably am thinking, okay, they don't know this yet, but they just need to be told that that's probably an unwise way to do that, or there's a better way to do this. There's a lot of latitude for things like that if the person is simply willing to do whatever, jumping in and giving it their all. If you've got somebody, or if you are someone that's new to kids ministry and you just are constantly discounting what you can do, if the Lord has led you into this ministry, he wants to use you. And faithful is he that calleth you, who also will do it. He's going to give you things that he can grow you in and allow you to be used through him to do these things. So simply just saying, well, I don't think I can do that because whatever, I didn't go to college for that, or I wasn't trained in that, is I think a huge mistake a lot of times, because so much happens where you're presented with the situation. So I call them living and learning moments. So oftentimes people will get upset because they think they handled a situation incorrectly that they might not really have been ready for in their mind. And so that's where people start to shut down. They get down on themselves, they get negative, and you get just a lot of negative self-talk. And I have to tell them, let's stop for a moment and realize, for your first time dealing with that situation, maybe you didn't handle everything correctly, but you didn't necessarily know. There was a lot of learning that took place. So learn from it, because you're going to face it again. It's going to look different, and you're probably not going to handle it perfectly that time either. So live and learn. And that's what your whole life is, right?
Sure.
I still work with kids, and there's moments where I'm like, I did not do that right. I needed to handle that a little more wisely, or I needed to say that a little differently. And it's just live and learn.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So probably last question in this category.
Okay.
But if a church had one kids ministry training session or day a year, what are some things that absolutely need to be included?
So you've got to start with the central focus, which is, why do you do kids ministry? Are you doing kids ministry just to fill time, to keep them from being a distraction in regular services? Hopefully the answer to that would be no. So define why you do kids ministry, because even if they don't say it, sometimes people think that way. So we do kids ministry because there's a crazy world out there that is going to try to bombard these kids with false truth, right? With lies. And we're trying to train these children up in the way that they should go. And so that when they're confronted with the lies of the world, they know which way to walk. And so, it's not going to be perfect every time. We're not going to bat 100, or 1,000, batting 1,000.
I mean, I'd be happy to bat.
It's embarrassing.
Bat a ball. I don't know what bat 100 means.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm the athletic guy here.
Yeah. Well,
just kidding.
You're not always going to get kids that are perfect, right? But your goal is to equip these young people with enough biblical truth that as they get older and begin to think for themselves, that thinking is based in, I'm created by God, I'm called to his purpose, and he wants me to live for him.
Yeah.
And so every day they're making decisions of, the two choices on the shelf is really what it comes down to every day: pleasing God or pleasing self. And our goal is right now to train them to please God, because the rest of their life they're going to be told that they should please self.
Yeah.
And it's hard to change a lot of those habits when you're older.
That's good.
So I guess, training day, start with the heart, start with the focus.
Start
of
with
kids
the heart.
ministry.
See what you did there. That was smooth.
And then, it's always practical tips and tricks and things that kids, people working with kids need to know, but it's got to be focused on the philosophy of the ministry of why we do this. It's to reach young people before they get inundated with anything else that's going to make this a lot more difficult.
Yep, that's good. If you haven't listened to the episode where we talked about remembering your why, that really focuses on that. And I won't re-talk about those things because we made a podcast.
Remember
about
your why. Go back and listen to it.
It's podcast episode 6.
Whoa.
I know. That's impressive.
That's a very good memory.
I should, as my friend Caleb Alma does sometimes, I should get respect points for that. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Points.
1,000. Wow, that's big time.
That's good.
That's big time. Well, hey, we've got more questions, and next episode, I'm going rapid fire. Okay, right here.
I'll try to
We're
keep my
talking
answers
favorite
faster.
game, favorite camp memory, favorite age group, favorite Bible story to teach, favorite children's
This is going to be one of my
ministry
favorite episodes.
speaker. Just kidding, that's not the one. Okay, because he probably wouldn't say me, and that would be sad. I'd be really sad. Okay, but we're going to talk about some of those things, and we may add some other stuff. But join us next time. We'll be, if you're watching the video, we'll be wearing the same clothes again because we're recording in about 2 minutes. Yep.
We only own one pair of clothes.
That's really like we've been. He spilled the beans. All right. The tea has been spilled. Is that what you say? I don't know.
The tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it tea? Okay. I like tea, by the way. Sweet tea. It's nice.
You sound old.
I do. Why?
Just because you're like unsure if that's what it is.
Oh, wow.
Come on, man.
Oh, hey. It's
Spill the
bougie.
tea.
Is that?
Okay.
I'm gonna stop.
You should just stop.
It's bussin' tea.
Stop. No.
I was saying it wrong. There's some people, and you're really confused. You probably stopped the episode already. Hey, this is not the timing to say it, but I'm going to say it. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a review. And
until the last minute.
I encourage a 5-star review. Here's why. Okay, it'll help more people hopefully hear the podcast, and then share it with a friend and encourage them, and then pray for Camp CoBeAc. And man, God is using them. There's been a ton of folks saved. This is, I was told, their second biggest
summer.
year.
Yeah.
I think, or second biggest summer.
I think so. Unofficially, yeah. I think it's.
So we'll find out. Yeah. So that's exciting. God's working, and so keep praying them, especially for Ranger Max Barker.
Pray for everybody that works with me. That's right. That's the real prayer.
That's right. But anyway, hey, thanks for joining us. And if we could do anything for you, contact info is in the show notes. Ask any children's ministry questions you want. Unfiltered. We can handle it. Well, at least he can. Okay, but that'll be a good time.
I'll make something up.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great day.
Thanks, everybody.